As of this video, there are 1,025 Pokemon in existence, divided not very evenly among the 18 Pokemon types. Then beyond that, some Pokemon also have a secondary typing. Or now I guess, every typing. All of this is to say, there's a lot of Pokemon, huh? Look, I've been a Pokemon fan for the majority of my life. It's been there through my highs and lows, and I've been there through its highs and lows. But as time has gone on, my relationship with the series has gotten a little bit, strange. No wait, not like that, not like that! Let me explain. It's like I could be walking down the street, being a normal, productive member of society, and somebody could hold up a picture of a Salandit or something, and I'll be like, Salandit is a fire and poison type, it's very weak to the ground type attacks, and only females can evolve into Salazzle, but there's only a 12% chance, like I'm some kind of Pokedex sleeper agent or something. Anyway, with the release of Pokemon Legends Zaza happening eventually, a few days back I was thinking about playing through another Pokemon game again, and got to thinking about what team I should try out this time. Then I started thinking about team balance and typings, and then I got curious about how many different type combinations there are. Anyway, now we're here. Before I get started, I'm going to lay out how I want to do this, and by what metric I'm going to be counting things. First things first, I'm going to be putting together a list to see what the most common pairings I think are for each type, so that at the end we can see how accurate I am and how much of a big dumb nerd I can be. Second, I'm going to be counting each Pokemon individually, not just the entire evolution lines even if the typing remains the same throughout, as they are different Pokemon. I'll also be counting alternate forms and Mega Evolutions, since those are apparently coming back, but only if they change their typing.
This is something else.
And if that sounds arbitrary to you, yeah. Third, if you're wondering what I'm going to use to keep track of things, like an Excel spreadsheet or something, don't laugh. Look, if you're wondering why I'm using this piece of paper and not like an Excel spreadsheet or something, it's because I thought it'd be funny. Also, look at these lines, dude. My ruler slipped and I messed up. But not only that, if you look real close, you can see that I was using pen at the beginning. But then my pen ran out of ink, so I had to change to using a pencil. Oh my god, this sucks. Also, to make things a little bit more fun for you at home, why don't you put some guesses down too? Go on, I'm waiting. No, but seriously, write them down on a piece of paper at home, or maybe even comment them below, and then edit your comment at the end to see how many you got right when we do the tally. But don't cheat, Derek.
I'm warning you with peace and love.
Alright, hello. Welcome to the guessing section. I don't know why I said that like Markiplier, but... Hello, everybody. So as you can see, I have made an immaculate type chart, where I'm going to be doing my guessing as for what I think the most common combination is for each type. Now I'm going to do something as an example. I'm going to go down here to rock and ground. Don't laugh at my handwriting. Now I'm going to guess, and I don't think it's going to be the case for all of these, but I'm pretty confident that these two are going to be each other's most common combinations. So I'm just going to quickly jot down rock, ground. And now looking at the rest of the chart, I actually think I would even say the same thing for flying and normal. There are so many normal ass birds in this franchise. They're everywhere. So flying. Yeah, sorry bug, I guess I'm gonna encroach on your space here. Norm. R.I.P.
I will not eat a single morsel of food until Margaret Thatcher is dead and buried.
She died 3 weeks ago.
For the rest of these, are there any I think would be each other's? You know what? Gamers. I actually think grass and poison would also be each other's most common type variation. Or combination. Because just think about like Oddish, the Bulbasaur line, the Bellsprout line. Beautiful. Not my handwriting, but the chart. I mean, not even the chart. Like, if you look at the spacing between the lines. You can see that I kind of just gave up at certain points. Anyway, alright, let's get into this proper. The most common combination for bug. Off the top of my head, my mind immediately goes to poison? No. Well, maybe. The Weedle line, Dustox, I think Cascoon is also poison bug. Venipede, Swirlypede, and all that. I'm gonna say poison for bug. Poisson. Okay. Electric. This is interesting because Electric in my mind is one of those types that doesn't have a lot of combinations, and I could be wrong about that. But like taking Psychic, for example, the only electric psychic type in existence, I'm pretty sure, is Alolan Raichu. There are combinations with electric, obviously, but in terms of the majority, weirdly my mind goes to Steel. But that could only be because I'm thinking of like Magnezone, Magneton, and Magnemite. I don't have a big guess for electric. I'm just going to put down electric. Yeah, I'm going to put down electric Steel because what's it? The thing from Gen 7? The weird hamster thing? Togedemaru, yeah. I didn't look that up on my phone. What are you talking about? Psychic. Psychic is interesting because it also has a lot of combinations. Weirdly, my mind went to fighting because of Gallade, Mega Mewtwo X, but that doesn't make sense. Although Fairy, Psychic and Fairy could be a thing because of the Ralts line. My mind is blanking, but I'm pretty sure there are more. You know what, screw it. Yeah, I'm gonna put Fairy. Fairy. Vanilla Ice. For some reason my mind went to ground, but that's only because I was thinking of the Mamoswine line. Huh. Water? Because of Dugong, wait, Seal isn't part. You know what, screw it. I'm gonna follow my heart. I'm gonna go with my gut and say water. I'm probably very incorrect though. Fighting. I was gonna make a joke about firefighting being the most common because we had 3 of those starter lines in a row. But now that I'm actually thinking about it, it might actually be possible. Pignite, Emboar, Monferno, Infernape, Combuskin, Blaziken. Not counting Mega Blaziken because it retains the same typing, but is it fire? No. I think I'm gonna put down fire. I don't know why. I'm probably incorrect, but Ghost. No, I was gonna say poison, but every time my brain thinks of an evolution line, I immediately just go, oh, that's the one. No matter which one it is. Like, no, there's only like, what, 3 ghost poison types? I don't know. I'm blanking super hard on this one. Ghost fire maybe? No. Is it fire? Because the Chandelure line and then Hisuian Typhlosion. But that's it. You know, who gives a shit? Alright, I'm just gonna put down dark. No, I'm not. No, I'm not. I'm not gonna put down dark. I'm gonna put down something. Come on. I'm literally firing every neuron in my brain right now to figure this out. Ghost! Yeah, okay, poison. I'm wrong. I know in my heart I'm wrong, but I'm just following my gut at this point. Also, look at this absolutely disgusting O. What is that, dude? Hang on. There. Steel. Steel ground? Steel rock comes to mind. How many are there? Aeron, Lairon, Aggron, Bastiodon, Shieldon. Yeah, let's do rock. Steel the rock. Dragon is interesting. Initially my mind went to flying. Dragonite, Salamence, Altaria, Rayquaza. Oh, and Noivern and Noibat. I think it might actually be flying. Let's do that. Fly. Already did grass. Dark. So earlier, I said dark fire randomly when I was thinking of ghosts because my brain was dying live on camera. But dark poison maybe? Dark poison, no, that's only like the skunks, I'm pretty sure. Dark flying Murkrow, Honchkrow, Yveltal. Dark steel is Pawniard, Bisharp, Kingambit. Dark water? Carvana, Sharpedo, Greninja, Hisuian, Samurott. You know what? Screw it. That is my worst writing yet. Let's continue. Water. I don't think it's dark for water. Initially, my brain goes to poison, but that's not right. You know, weirdly enough, my brain is going to ground because Barboach Whiscash, Marshtomp Swampert, Wooper Quagsire, and I'm sure there are more. Now there are a lot of water types though. Water rock maybe because of the fossils. You know what? Screw it. Let's do water rock. I think there are more than I am remembering. Alright, last two. Fairy and Fire, double Fs, Final Fantasy, Fatal Frame, Fatal Fury, Terry Bogard. Fairy is I think I'm actually going to do Fire first, because Fairy is interesting in that the spread is probably different considering how new of a type it is. I know I'm saying it's a new type, even though it came out like literally over 10 years ago, Jesus Christ. But you know what I mean. Like around Gen 6, they start getting more experimental with their type pairings. So I feel like Fairy would have a more even spread compared to like Fire. So for Fire, my brain is going Fire Flying. Not just because of Charizard, but there's also the Talonflame line, Ho-Oh and Moltres. I'm going with my heart. My heart is probably incorrect. Alright, Fairy. Last but not least. This is the most even spread among them, I'm pretty sure. Fairy and Psychic is the Curlia line. Tapu, one of them is Psychic. I'm pretty sure there are other Psychic Fairies. Steel Fairy, on the other hand, is Klefki, Mawile. You know what? I'm gonna say it's a mirror. And say it's the Psych? Yeah, sure, I'm just gonna put Psych. Alright. These are my guesses. You know, if you did this at home, let's see how right or wrong we all were together, shall we? Okay, so it's been a day since I recorded my initial guessing section, and I already forgot what I put down. So, this will be a learning experience for both of us. Now, you've already seen the part where I showed off my really cool chart that I'll be using to jot down the information. And you're probably wondering, wait, why does he have Cerebi open? How is he going to count all of these? Well, the answer is simple. Let's say we're going to count bug flying first, since I'm doing this in alphabetical order. 1, 2... You're probably wondering if this stupid, dumb asshole is really going to count everything by hand. Well, to answer that question, we need to look back at when things started going wrong. You see, when I was born... Also, I'm not actually going to make you guys watch me count everything. I'm just going to post the highlights of my scientific discoveries. Enjoy! Bug Dragon, I'm pretty sure, is a big fat 0. I remember when, what is it called, the Indigo Disc DLC was coming out, and people were like leaking quote-unquote stuff, and they were like, the apple thing, what's the apple called? Applin. Applin's gonna get a new evolution, and it's gonna be a bug dragon instead of a grass dragon, and people were like, finally, our first bug dragon type. And lo and behold, another grass dragon. Bug Fairy. They should give Butterfree a mega evolution in the new games. And make it a Bug Fairy. Bug Fire. I'm pretty sure it's only the one line. Yeah, Larvesta and Volcarona. 2. I completely forgot about these two, never mind. Ground Bug. Also, I'm looking at my chart right now. I forgot that I was trying to draw all the symbols for the Pokemon types that are official, but I couldn't draw the ground ones, so instead I just wrote down the word dirt. What is wrong with me? There are 0 normal bugs, because all bugs are freaks. That was mean, I'm sorry, bugs. There's really only one Dark Electric type. That's kinda ass. That's such a cool typing, why is there only one? They should make another Dark Ice Pokemon where you can't really see it, and then you slip on it and end up in the hospital for a week. 5 Dark Normals. What an ass typing. Dark Psychic, I'm pretty sure, is just Inkay in its evolution. 1, 2. Never mind, I'm immediately proven wrong by Hoopa. Oh, Dracozolt. 3 Electric Dragons. I forgot these freaks existed. Their lives are like constant agony. Oh, I forgot about Poop Turtle. I hate Poop Turtle, dude. Don't look up its Pokédex entry. There are 2 normal dragons, a grandpa and a bicycle. Normal dragon as a typing cracks me up because it's like, the only thing that changes is that now you can punch them in the face. Electric type time. I don't know why I said it like that. Electric type time. Electric fire, I'm pretty sure that's 0, right? Unless one of the things... Oh, Rotom heat. Electric ghosts. Are there electric ghosts? Oh, Rotom, duh. What am I, an idiot? I was just talking about him earlier. 2 normal electrics. I feel like slapping normal onto anything is just like... It's basically like putting a kick me sign on a Pokemon. Just saying, hey, punch this one in the face, dude. Not looking good for my guesses, gang. My brain is really struggling. They should give Mimikyu a Mega in the next Legends game, and if you send it out into battle, your opponent just dies. Alright, I was gonna say there was no poison fairies, but then I remembered Pheasantipity, and also Mr. Goddamn Doug Dimmadome over here.
Owner of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
Rock Fairy type? You mean Dwayne The Rock Johnson in the hit movie Tooth Fairy 2? Or 1? I don't remember which one he was in, who gives a shit. Flying normal. Jesus Christ, it'd be easier to count the non-flying normal types. Normal ghost. Normal ghost is just a dude named Steve who wears like a white t-shirt and jeans and he hangs around your living room. Hey, how was your day? There are only 3 grass ground types? That seems weird. Soil and grass literally go together, huh? Grass psychic. That's what happens when I hit the grass too. Water grass, I'm pretty sure is only Ogerpon with its water mask on. Oh wait, I forgot about Lotad. Never mind, I'm wrong. You know what? I'm gonna say it. They should give Ludicolo a Mega Evolution in the next game. Next up, ground type. I almost said dirt type because that's what it says on my stupid chart. Only 3 ground ice types and it's the Piloswine Piloswine line. Psychic ground. That is an interesting typing and I don't think there are any. I forgot about Balto and Claydol, never mind too. There should just be a compilation in this video of the amount of times I go, I don't think there are any of those, and then I immediately get proven wrong. 0 ice normal types. And honestly, keep it that way, because 1 punch and they will explode into nothingness. Alright, let's move on to Norm of the North. I don't even know what that is. That's a show, right? That just came to me. It spoke to me in a dream. I'm kind of surprised by the consecutive 0s I'm seeing in the normal type column. Shit is looking like my report card in high school. I wonder what music I'm going to put over this to make it less, mind-numbingly boring. I am really regretting choosing to do it this way. God damn it, I'm such an idiot. Hey, before we dig into the results, I just wanted to say real quick, thanks for watching so far. I'm hoping that you're enjoying yourself, and I'm hoping that as time passes, I can make even better quality videos. Anyway, let's get into the results. So let's start off with the first guess I made. I said that I believe that rock and ground were each other's most common pairing. And I was right! Yes! Well, I was sorta right. Not about rock and ground specifically, but still. The part I was only sorta right about was ground. You see, ground's most common pairings are actually a tie at 9 Pokemon each between rock and water. And speaking of rock and water, those 2 are each other's most common pairing. Which I guess water's most common pairing was rock, so, you know, points for me. I just wasn't expecting the reverse to also be true. But I guess I underestimated all the fossils that are rock-water types. And, you know, Pokemon like Binacle. Let's move on to the bug types. I was wrong. But wait, I was damn close, okay? I guessed that the most common pairing for bugs was poison, and I was only off by a single Pokemon. But the actual most common secondary type for bug is flying. Which, in hindsight, yeah, no duh, right? But what I find even crazier than that is there is only one bug dark type in existence, and it only just came out in Gen 9. That is insane to me. They're bugs, right? Like roaches and stuff all thrive in dark places. Like they live under rocks or in caves. Anyway, since flying is Bug's most common secondary, I guess we should talk about the obvious. Yeah, I was dead on in saying that flying and normal were each other's soulmates, basically. But there are 27 normal flying types in existence, and I didn't even count things like Mega Pidgeot. Also, fun fact, Rookity isn't a normal flying type. Like, I always just assumed it was because it was a basic bird, but no. That thing is pure flying. Now with normal, I was actually surprised at how many zeros showed up on my chart, with no bug, ice, rock, or steel normal types. But again, I made a joke earlier on about how putting a normal typing on your Pokemon is like adding a kick me sign to it. Also, the disparity between its first place and second place secondary typings is huge. Normal's second most common typing is Psychic, but it's only at 6. That's a difference of
21.
Moving on though, let's cover Psychic, and this one actually was kinda wild to me. Now I guessed that its most common pairing was Fairy, and I was wrong again, off by 1 again, but it's actually at a tie with 9 Pokemon apiece between Flying, like I mentioned earlier, and crazily enough, Steel. Now initially the only thing that comes to mind when you think of Psychic and Steel types is the Metagross line, right? But then you remember things like Jirachi, Bronzong, and Bronzor, and it all starts adding up. And because we aren't counting Megas, if we wanted to be really cheeky and count Mega Metagross, then it'd be at 10. But yeah, this means that the reverse is also true. Steel's most common secondary typing is Psychic, which I don't think anybody guessed, considering I guessed Rock, but if you did, cool. But let's go to the opposite of Psychic now and check out Dark. And the results here are actually pretty evenly spread. I already brought up how weird it is that there's only one bug dark type in existence, so I don't really need to harp on that again. But the most common secondary typing for Dark is actually Flying, at 8 Pokemon, with a 2-way tie for second place between Grass and Poison of all things, with 7 each. My dumbass guessed Water, so... Now let's keep going with the D. What do you know about that D, huh? Let's cover Dragons next. Now I guessed Flying because I was pretty stumped on this one during the guessing process because Dragon has always been a pretty evenly spread type. But the actual most common secondary type for Dragon legitimately surprised me because it's Grass. There are 7 Grass Dragon types in existence, and a majority of that is the goddamn Applin line, because of Indigo Disc giving it 2 more evolutions. Anyway, since we're on the topic, let's cover Grass next. I said that Poison was its most common secondary, and I was right. And the same is true for the reverse. Poison's most common secondary is Grass. Although interestingly, Ghost's most common secondary typing is Grass at 10. And you know, it makes sense because of all the little Halloween fellas, and also Robin Hood. But that also means, yeah, I was wrong again. Next I want to talk about Electric, which also has a fairly even spread. And it's also one of those types that had me a little bit stumped. I guess Steel is its secondary, God knows why. But it's actually Flying at 7 Pokemon, which, you know, seems kinda counterintuitive considering, but whatever. Moving on to Fairy. My thinking for this one was that the spread would be more even since the type was added relatively recently, but there are no Fire Fairy or Ground Fairy Pokemon, which is kinda crazy considering it's been that long. But I guessed its most common secondary typing was Psychic, and I was right, with 8 Pokemon in that category, not even counting Mega Gardevoir. But speaking of fire, let's move on to fighting. Okay. I guessed that Fire was fighting's most common secondary typing as a joke, right? Because of all the starters. But it turns out that's real. Yeah. 7 fire fighting types, 6 of which are starter evolutions, and the last one being Paldean Tauros. And as for fire types, I guessed that the most common secondary would be Flying, But it isn't. Nor is it fighting. Nor? What am I, goddamn Dracula?
This shit ain't nothing to me, man.
But Fire's most common secondary is actually Ghost, with 8 Pokemon total. And when you think about it, yeah, we got lamps and an oven. But what's the opposite of fire? I mean, you could argue ice or water. Let's just do ice to finish things off. Anyway, I guess its most common secondary typing would be water, and I was right again, with 8 ice-water types. But yeah, that's all the secondary typings, or at least the most common ones. Here's the final tally chart with each type's most common pairing. As for my guesses, I got exactly 9 out of 18. Literally 50%. So yeah, you know, I basically passed and all that and did incredibly. But if you played along at home, let me know your results too. Did you get better than literally half the list? This was an interesting experiment. It's cool to have an idea of the type spread in the series and where they could add new Pokemon in the future. Like making a second Ice Fairy to terrorize dragons even more. Initially, I was kinda surprised by how low some of the numbers were. There were so many Mono-type Pokemon that I omitted from this list because, you know, no secondary typing. But beyond all that, I still don't know what Pokemon game to replay, which was kind of half the point of why I made this video. I mean, the experiment was still cool, right? Hey everybody, if you enjoyed the video, you know, like and subscribe and all that, I'd really appreciate it. I do genuinely hope you enjoyed this. It was a big departure from what I've done before. Now granted, I've only made like 4 videos so far. No, not even. I've only made like 3, so if you enjoy this type of thing, I do plan on making other Pokemon content in the future. But I'm not going to be like a dedicated Pokemon channel. I'm just going to be like a nerd guy. Anyway, bye-bye.